to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Tracy?
Mark DePace,
Here.
Sheila Graham.
Here.
Kirsten Gustafson,
Here.
Lauren Jones. Here. Willette Jones,
Here.
Calvin Lewis,
Here.
Lethea Walker.
Here. Thank you. I would like to make a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
Second.
All in favor? Student representative report.
My last one. Okay, so for my student report today, it's going to be a bit more lengthy because we had hoped to have a presentation, but it wasn't on the agenda. So first off, senior events, graduation rehearsal, walkthrough is tomorrow, which is exciting. Everything's wrapping up. I think we just finished our last Regents exam today, so we're all good on that. So for the report, what we had hoped to present on is the climate of the school and everything, and just what we as students, like from the student council, wanted the board to focus on in the upcoming year. And some things that we found from our climate survey that we did earlier in the year was that they had issues with the bathrooms and the hallways mainly, and where students were kind of congregating. So it's no secret that students really do just have their own little meetings in the hallways. So that's really annoying for not only the students but the teachers, I'm sure. And then the hallways for that reason. And also the bathrooms, although the doors do make it so that it's more secure and that not everyone gets to go in and out, there is either too much security or not enough security at all. So some doors don't even have anyone there for people to go in, so they can't, use the bathroom during class, and then they're going on to look for someone to open the bathrooms, and it's there's someone there, so they're just wasting more class time in that. So it's just less efficient, I think. Other than that, we just wanted to point those things out so that you can focus on it next year. And also, one last thing. That was it for the climate survey, really. I just tried to sum it up, because we did have a whole presentation, but, it's okay. One last thing. To introduce the new student body representative for next year, I'm honored to present Thomas Orbinski. I have every faith that he will be a stellar student body representative. So that's all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Presentations.
So good evening, everyone. Tonight, I'm going to present to you an overview of our district comprehensive plan. However, board members, I just wanted to give you an update or an understanding of how the process took place. It was a very collaborative process with teachers, administration, and staff members. So tonight, Dr. Coriel is here to tell you about the process and how it went. We also gave a survey out, and I think I attached a survey to the board information so you can see what the feedback was on the whole process. We also had parents who were part of the process, and we had board members that were part of the process. So without further ado, I will allow Dr. Coriel to let you know how the process went from the part of the teachers, and then I will give you a brief overview because you have the entire DSEP plan already attached to the agenda for you since last week.
I'm Dr. Coriel. I'm the department chair for English as a New Language. I have been on school and district level committees making improvement plans for 20 years or so. And this process was different. I found it was more positive than it sometimes is. It was really productive, and we took a different approach. We had school level teams that all met together as a district level team. And Lakia was there, and Cheryl was there, and Dr. Pressey was there. And Dr. Pennyman was sometimes there. And yes, Jill Turner was there. And we worked with a consultant, Kawita Adams, and she was really, I thought she was qualified. I know she was knowledgeable, and she was very supportive. And working this way let us get feedback from each other. We would break down into our smaller groups and work on our school level plans, and then get back together and present them and get feedback and discuss them. And as we were working on our plans, Ms. Adams was creating the district level plan from the school level plans. And we started with brainstorming about where we are and where we want to be, what the parents maybe think the school district is, or the schools were, and what the students think the schools are, and what the teachers think the schools are, and what we envisioned that it could be. And then we looked at a lot of data, test scores, attendance, discipline, student interview results. And we took all of that and we started putting it into a template, and we had a lot of examples, a lot of scaffolding, and every time we met, we would get back together in the larger group and present and discuss it. And at the end of it, we reviewed the district level plan to make sure it aligned with what we were envisioning in our school level plans. I know it's a lot, but the plan is a lot. The plan is 30 pages long before you put anything into it. And I felt like it was a good process because most years, or most times we've done this, it was a top-down process where the district created a big plan with a big committee of people, and then the schools were told to make their school level plan and fit it in so that it aligned with the district plan. And this way the school plans were combined, and we made sure that the district plan aligned with that and with the 6 keys for school improvement. And we have a plan.
Thank you so much. Thank you, really appreciate that. So this is a brief overview of the District Comprehensive Improvement Plan, and it will be posted on the website so that the public can see it. So basically the first priority and the goal is pretty much we're committed to a culture of collaboration to improve student outcomes and continue to accelerate learning, whereby teachers and leaders will engage in professional learning communities that focus on data-driven practices, instructional planning, and continued professional development. So over on the left, we have strategies, and then on the right, we have how we will measure the success. So the strategies will include a professional learning community. At the elementary, they will measure it by qualitative data that will be reviewed from CPT notes quarterly to determine growth of best practice and instructional planning. Another strategy is coaching cycles, data teaming, coordinated master schedule, and embedded PD. So a secondary measurement of this will be 80% of the teams will demonstrate with best practices using the district developed secondary CPT of continuum. So baseline data will be established during the initial visit to each CPT in the fall. So priority 2 is that we were committed to implementing a multi-tiered system of support, MTSS, a plan, because what we know is that when students We know that when students to student and student to teacher relationships are caring and positive, that all students can achieve an overall success. So we committed ourselves to fidelity in Tier 1 by implementing for all staff and by providing research-based professional development and targeted support to staff responsible for Tier 2 and Tier 3 implementations via feedback cycles and regular progress monitoring for academics, behavior, and attendance. What I will do, because sometimes we as educators, we have these jargons that not everybody understands. So once this gets posted on the website between now and the summer, I will have like a terms, vocabulary terms, what each thing means, so that when the public is looking at this, that they can understand what they're reading. So strategies here for priority 2 was to implement MTSS. I know you've heard a lot about branching minds and MTSS, and that's the framework we're using that we're working on, and we will have more trainings on June 15th and 16th for administration.
July.
July. Ooh, still trying to keep us here another month. July 15th and 16th. So we've established that. We've got the dates, the principals, the teachers, the teacher teams, et cetera, from each building. So this is a pre-K through 12 approach. So it's not just at the elementary. It's the high school, the junior high, and the elementary school. So the measuring for success will be a 3% decrease in out-of-school suspension rate, a 3% decrease in chronic absenteeism, and then the qualitative data that we are going to measure is 100% building implementation of RULA K-12, social emotional program. This is a social emotional program which is evidenced by pacing guides, self-assessment. This will help to support our multi-tiered system of support, MTSS implementation. And then we will measure by improving identified district survey indicators, and 80% of walkthroughs will show evidence of Tier 1 fidelity of MTSS strategies and implementation. Priority 3 is that we committed to ensuring that all students will develop social and emotional teaching and learning skills, and that which will enable them to identify emotions and initiate self-regulation strategies for fostering relationships between adults and students to ensure that students feel they have advocates and are supported. What are some of these strategies? We'll look at RULER, which is a social-emotional validated curriculum. We'll also have social-emotional behavior initiative alignment, and then we will have fidelity with our monitoring. So we will measure success by 100% building implementation of the RULER in grades K through 12, social-emotional programs as evidenced by pacing guides and self-assessments. And then we'll improve identified district survey indicators. And then we will also measure this again by 80% of walkthroughs will show evidence of Tier 1 fidelity of RULER implementation. Priority 4, we committed to reducing the gap between our intentions and outcomes by increasing student proficiency and reducing disproportionality in student performance among subgroups by embracing our delivery of instruction through implementing project-based learning. And some strategies here are professional development and training, curriculum integration and development, community and stakeholder engagement. We will measure success by 3%, showing an increase of 3% in class participation as determined by the district, 3% increase in attendance, 3% increase in student engagement on a student survey, and a 3% increase in family participation in family nights and parent conferences. This is basically the overview of our priorities for our district improvement plan. Now, this was sent to the state, and the state, I saw yesterday, I haven't gotten to it yet. They sent some they just sent feedback to us, and I did skim through it a little bit. It was very positive. They didn't have much to say, but this was not due until July 15th. I want to say that. But we turned our plan in almost a whole month before it was due. Just trying to be proactive instead of reactive, just in case the state's telling us we have to do something, we don't have to scuffle and hurry and then not be able to turn in something with quality. So this was just, Oh, don't leave yet. I need to do something. Don't leave yet. Mr. Briscoe, I know you're next, but board, if we may, can we rearrange our agenda because Fatima has to leave? Do we have permission?
Yes.
Okay. So, thank you.
You're welcome.
Dr. Coriel.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Superintendent, please. Superintendent's report, sorry.
Do we have to vote to adjust the agenda?
Who said?
Do we have to vote
Yeah.
to readjust? Okay.
Oh, I thought you said you made a motion, so I said, well,
Oh, I make a motion to adjust the agenda.
all in favor?
All right. Thank you so much. So tonight, I'd like to say thank you to three very important people. I'd like to say thank you to our student representative, Fatima Chowdhury. You represented our students very well, excellent this year. I've gotten to know you a little. You're a fantastic young woman, and I can't wait to see the places you'll go. Thank you so much for serving our student population and for serving our board as a student representative. And for that, we do have a small token of appreciation for you to say thank you, and Tracy will.
Okay, do I go up or? Thank you.
Thank you. So if you have to, thank you. Thank you.
Get the hug me or something, like, I'm a hugger, do I get their hug?
Oh, okay, sure.
Okay, let me put this on.
I'll let you hug the board too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, guys. Enjoy your night and good luck.
And then I'd like to, thank you, Fatima. Then I'd like to also say thank you, a heartfelt thank you to Miss Graham and Miss Jones. And I want to take this moment to express my profound gratitude for your dedicated service to our school district over the past 1 and also 3 years. Your unwavering commitment to ensuring educational excellence and opportunities for our students has made a lasting impact on our community. Your leadership, passion, and willingness to listen to diverse perspectives have been invaluable in shaping the educational experiences for our students. Your tireless efforts have not gone unnoticed, and I am truly grateful for the positive changes you have helped me to bring about this year. Thank you for your hard work, dedication, and service to our school district. You have made a meaningful difference in our lives and in the lives of our students and the entire community. And your contributions will be remembered for years to come. On behalf of the Hudson City School District staff, students, teachers, families, a heartfelt thank you. And we also have a token of appreciation. And the We also have a small cake for Lauren and for this grand practice.
Thank you. Briscoe.
Good evening. Sean Briscoe. I am the athletic director as well as the varsity boys basketball coach. And I have a small presentation to do tonight. Looking to get approval from the board to do an overnight trip with our varsity boys basketball team to go to a tournament over in Springfield. So the Hoop Hall Classic's been around for a really long time. It's a nationwide basketball tournament. It has always been top teams from the country, throughout the country, come and play. This year they are expanding it to more local schools to the Northeast, schools of our size. So it's a 2-game guarantee. We'll have exposure to college coaches. We'll play some high-level competition. We will have an opportunity to potentially play teams from Rhode Island, Connecticut, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts. Every player and coach will get free entry into the Basketball Hall of Fame for us to be able to go and see everything that they have there. Opportunity for our team, obviously, to bond together and have a different type of experience than getting on a school bus, driving down the road to Chatham, playing a game, and coming home. So who would attend? It would be the varsity basketball team, coaches, our scorekeeper. So we'd have 3 coaches there generally the team has 12 players on it. The cost to the district, there's a $500 entry fee to the tournament. That is something that we already budget for in our athletic budget. We pay for track teams to go to invitationals. Any other team that wants to do these types of games, there are coaches versus cancer games that have entry fees that we pay for already. But the basketball club would then cover the cost of hotel rooms, transportation, food costs through donations and fundraisers. So the cost would be very minimal to the athletic fund, and would put a lot of onus on the basketball team and fundraising and going out and getting those donations that we would need to cover the costs. Costs were roughly, talking to the tournament director, hotels would be around $150. We'd be staying one night. I've asked if we were to go, we'd play on Saturday and Sunday, so we would need to stay on Saturday night. We'd be looking at 7 to 8 rooms, so anywhere between $1,000 to $1,200 for the hotel. And again, this would be paid for by the basketball club through fundraisers and donations. Transportation, I've already talked to Tabitha about potentially trying to do shared services with the youth department to lower the cost. I haven't gotten there yet because I wanted to get approval before going through all the other hoops. But looking at potentially using one of the youth department vans, as my assistant coach and my JV coach both work there. So they are already drivers for those vans. So I thought if we could use their van plus the one we have, the cost would be very minimal in terms of what we had to raise to get ourselves there via transportation. Meals, same thing. We would raise money for this too. We wouldn't be expecting any of our kids to have to foot any of the bill, other than if they wanted, to purchase something at the Basketball Hall of Fame or something like that. Food costs would be covered. Their hotel room would be covered. Everything would be covered that they would need for those 2 days, the necessities. This is when it is. January 18th and 19th is Martin Luther King weekend. That is when they have this tournament every year. So again, it would, regardless of what time we play, get back, there would be no school the following Monday, because it would be Martin Luther King Day, and we would have that off. So, any questions, concerns, comments that you would like me to answer to weigh in to help you make a decision?
They seed you against competition or schools of equivalent sizes? Or?
Yes. So in Togner, we would get placed into like a 4-team bracket of similar sizes, similar, based off of school numbers. Not every state does it the way we do in terms of ours are numbered, AAA, A, B, C, D, a lot of do Division 1, 2, 3, 4. But we'll be about the same. We would play a game on Saturday, and then if we win, we would be in like the championship of our little bracket, or we would just play in the consolation game if we were to lose. Yes?
If the team has success, is there a chance for a subsequent tournament, bigger region?
No, this is just a one-time, one-weekend tournament that they host every year. Anything else? Yes?
Would you be looking to go every year then?
Yeah, I mean, if it's successful, not in terms of necessarily how we do at the games, but if it's a success in terms of what I'm looking for out of this in terms of a team bonding experience, more than whether we win or lose the games, obviously we want to go there and win. But if it's successful and, this is something that we're able to do, I definitely would like to, be able to make it like a yearly thing that we do with the team. All right, well,
Very cool.
thank you, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
It's its own section.
The process, yeah. Good question.
Yeah, that's a separate. Make a motion to open a 30-day comment period for the district safety plan. Second. June 25th, 2024, and close the comment period on July 25th, 2024, as required by NY.
I'm about to convene into the public comment period of our meeting. Although state law does not require us to hold the public comment period, we've chosen to do so because we believe it's crucial for us to hear from our community members about their concerns and issues. Having said that, please note the board is here to listen. Public comment period is not designed to be a discussion. Accordingly, please do not expect the board to respond to your concerns and questions tonight. It's because we take your concerns and questions seriously and want to have sufficient time to process and research issues if need be. We will, however, respond to your questions and concerns at a future meeting or have the proper staff member get back to you at the appropriate time.
And I want to give thanks. I'm Rocky King, I'm a school counselor at the high school, and this year I had the opportunity to serve as a mentor for the My Brother's Keeper's Fellow, and I'd like to publicly go on record to thank a few individuals. First, Dr. Pennyman and Dr. Pressey. Without these women, this program would not exist. And I'd also like to thank our fellows, Mr. John Bailey and Mr. B.C.M. Burgess. Mr. Burgess is not able to be here because they're different. He has a different obligation tonight. But I do want to say that the time I've been here, this is something I've never seen before. These two young men have represented Hudson very well. They're volunteer firefighters, they're athletes, they're involved in the community, and they work. And they also served as fellows. And they basically learned leadership skills. Mr. Bailey, I call him Bailey Burgess. Mr. Bailey actually was interviewed for a documentary. Dr. Pressey made that happen. Everything that occurred, Dr. Pennyman supported us. And also, they attended a symposium in which Mr. Bailey served on a student panel, talking in front of thousands of people. And then Dr. Pressey let me know that because of his participation, an overarching group called MBK Alliance is interested in talking to Mr. Bailey and his other cohort. So this is just a really outstanding program. Moving forward, I think it's going to be in really good shape with Dr. Pennyman, Dr. Pressey's leadership, but I cannot thank these young men enough, and it's been a blessing serving as their mentor. So I just want to give thank you to you, and thank you to these young men for serving Hudson Valley.
And thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dejan, graduating senior for this year, and Mr. Pink kind of stole my thunder, but I just want to thank the whole board. Thank you, Dr. Pennyman. Thank you, Dr. Pressey. Mr. Pink, thank you for all the support. And the program, honestly, is very positive. and it opens a lot of opportunity, and I hope to see it keep going, and, you know, people getting the recognition, you know, because honestly, like, I didn't, like, when I had all my opportunities, man, you believed in me so much. I really, like, thank you. And because I was, like, very shy, but again, the program, like, opened me up. Like, here, like, I'm nervous, but, like, I'm used to it now, because the whole program, like, that's what they do. They, like, prepare you for moments like these. So I just want to thank the board. Thank you, thank you, thank you again for all the opportunities. Thank you.
Superintendent update?
Yep. All right. Good evening, board again. So as we wrap up the 2023 school year, I just want to extend my deepest appreciation to the Board of Education and the entire community for your incredible support during my first year as your superintendent. Your dedication to our students and the collaboration we have shared have truly made a positive impact. I am thankful for the opportunity to work alongside such passionate and hardworking individuals. Together, we have accomplished so much, and I'm looking forward to continuing our work together in the future. Thank you for your trust and for making me feel like a valued member of this amazing community. Thank you.
For consensus agenda, we're gonna pull items H and item B. So make a motion to accept consensus agenda items A, C through G, and I through X.
Second.
All in favor? And then make a motion to accept consensus agenda item B.
Second.
All in favor? And then make a motion to accept consensus item H.
Second.
All in favor? Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, new business.
So for policy, we have a couple of policies that are up for first read. They're not new policies. They are just policies that we've already had that we need to just do like every year. So it's policy 0115, 0115-E, and 0115R, policy 1900, policy 5100, policy 5300, and 5300.26, policy 6240, policy 6240R, and policy 6700, and policy 67-R. So all of them up are for first read, and so we just say that if you just take a look at it, and then if there's any questions or concerns, you can just let us know before our next policy meeting.
And for D, the only changes were to the athletic code of conduct, not the regular code of conduct?
For D?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you worked on those with
Oh, yeah,
Mr. Briscoe?
yeah, we are.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Mhm.
Okay, Tracy. Okay. Important dates, February 26th. Can you hear me? Wednesday, June 26, 2024, second grade award ceremony at 9 a.m. in the MCSC auditorium. This already happened today. Oh, Lord, then. June 26, 2024, third grade award ceremony at 10 p.m. in the MCSE auditorium. Friday, June 28th, class of 2024 graduation at 7 p.m. in the high school auditorium. Tuesday, June 9th, 2024, reorg meeting at the high school area at 6 p.m. July 23rd, 2024, policy committee meeting at the high school library at 5 p.m. Tuesday, July 23rd, 2024, regular board education meeting at the high school library at 6 p.m. We don't need a executive session. So at this time, we have the community report, right?
Yeah.
The community report.
Okay, yeah. All right, at this time, we'd like to welcome organizers of the Hudson Children's Book Festival for conversation with the board. And yeah, please come and have a seat and have a discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think our goal as a board is just to, ensure that the book festival continues. Obviously means a lot to our community and to all of us, and want to just make sure that there's clarity for employees, administrators, and the community at large, and want to work with you guys to make sure that that's available for everybody who needs it. Yes. Anybody got any questions? Or?
Yeah. The first question I'd like to ask is, where are the headquarters for the Hudson Children's Book Festival? Where is it housed? Where does it live throughout the year when it's not happening?
There isn't really anything to live throughout the year per se.
So if someone wanted to, a sponsor or donor wanted to contribute or donate, where would how would they find you?
Right now, they would donate to the Hudson Literacy Fund.
The Hudson Literacy Fund is a nonprofit organization?
Mm-hmm.
So we just wanted to know, because as of right now, when I asked where does it live, when you go to the Hudson Children's Book Festival website, the address listed is 215 Harry Howard Avenue,
Right.
which is this address,
Right.
the school's address.
Mhm.
As far as we know, the Hudson Children's Book Festival is not the Hudson City School District.
It's been here for the last 12 years, which is why the address is 215 Harry Howard Avenue.
When you say been here, meaning like you have the event here.
Right.
But this statement on this website presumes that this is where it's housed, like this is where it lives, this is where it's owned. We don't own it. The Hudson City School District doesn't own the Hudson Children's Book Festival, correct?
Correct.
Right. So when I ask you where is it housed, if someone wanted to say, mail a check in, where would they mail it to?
The Hudson Literacy Fund.
So shouldn't that be the address on your website?
If people go to our website and they want to know where the book festival is held, that's the address on it.
That's not what reads here. It says Hudson Children's Book Festival, 215 Harry Howard Avenue. It doesn't say where the event takes place, it just says that is the address.
Again, because that's where it's held.
That is
So.
incorrect, actually. The next question I have. What business structure does the Hudson Children's Book Festival carry right now? What structure?
I'm not sure I understand.
Is it a DBA? Is it a LLC? Is it a S Corp? Is it a C Corp? Is it a 501c3? What is it?
We have a DBI.
You have a DBA.
Yeah.
And so you're fiscally sponsored by the Literacy Fund?
No.
So what is the relationship
I'm on the board.
of the Literacy Fund?
Yes.
So as a DBA, where's the DBA registered then? You have to put an address on the DBA.
My home address.
So shouldn't that be the address on the website? Because if the DBA meaning doing business as, the Hudson Children's Festival is doing business as, is what DBA stands for, and they ask you where's the address of the place, and you say your address, for instance, that's the address that should go on the website for transparency and truth.
Okay.
So the next question I have is, this year that just passed, we had Hudson Children's Book Festival listing the Hudson City School District as a sponsor. To your knowledge, has the Hudson City School District ever sponsored the Hudson Children's Book Festival?
We have always been in partnership with this district.
So, have we ever sponsored it?
We've been in partnership with the district. When you say sponsored it, what are you?
Well, because at the bottom of your tagline, you have sponsors, and
Right.
we're one of the sponsors listed.
Right.
And as you know, let me just be more clear here, sorry. So a sponsorship, the definition of the word sponsorship, the position of functioning or a person or group who vouches for, supports, advises, or helps fund another person or an organization or project. So does the Hudson City School District does that? We fund the
No,
Hudson
you
Children?
don't fund it.
Not
But
fund,
but
but
up until
support.
this school year, it's been held here. It's been
Partnership,
supported by
support.
the people in this district. It's run by people in this district.
It's
and
run
it's
by
here.
people in this district, but it's not owned by the district.
No.
Right. So that is the issue. We support it. You guys rent a space, you fill out a form, and you get your insurance, and you come here and you rent it, you rent the space.
Right.
Just like the Fireman's Home, Brooks
Right.
Barbecue, anybody who wants to
We're not
use this
disputing
space.
that.
Right. So the issue is that all those people have an address that is not listed as the school district's address. Do you understand what I'm saying? In terms of when you look at it, based on Dr. Pennyman's letter telling people that we do not sponsor, because sponsor means funding. We do not fund your event. Sponsorship
Correct.
means funding, but you didn't
Correct.
put in partnership, you put funded. And so that creates a misunderstanding in terms of the public looking at us and saying, well, why are they not sponsoring it this year? We're not sponsoring because we've never sponsored it. We've been in partnership in terms of saying you can rent our space and we support it, but we don't sponsor it.
Okay, well, the school district's logo has been on the poster since inception of the book festival. So if anybody would have actually agreed to meet with me ahead of time and knowing that there was an issue with that, then we could have clarified that ahead of time before the logo was put on the poster. But no one would meet with me
Oh, wait, so
in
you,
order to
you reached
clarify
out?
the role that the book festival has within the school district.
We welcome partnership with the district. We are all, all of the volunteers are members of the school district. We do this for the students of the school district. When we use the term support or partnership, it is in terms of the venue, the location, the volunteers, the space, the everything. It encompasses all of that. It's been that way since its inception. It's been that way. It's absolutely been a partnership with staff, students, teachers, administration, board members from its inception. We welcome partnership.
Absolutely, but partnership is not sponsorship. The language is different. It has a different definition. Do you agree?
We want the school district to, I think having the school district logo on there is important because we are partners. And it doesn't, in my mind, intimate in any way a financial sponsorship. I mean, it's a sponsorship of what you read when you read that definition of sponsorship. It includes other things besides financial. It includes volunteering and space and the venue and logistics and all of those other things, which we welcome and are happy about. We put this on for the kids.
Of course, I volunteer. I come every year with my kids. That is not the debate. The question is transparency. That is the question here today. I'm going to give other board members a chance to ask questions.
I think also, you know, I hear, you know, you keep saying like we've done this before, and we all know that the Hudson's Book Festival was started by the prior superintendent. And I think with new superintendents and new board, it's just questions are coming up, and because we just don't know, which is why we're asking our questions, because we're a new board, we have a new superintendent, and we do want to be transparent. And there is this, when, you know, when the statement came out, like the whole community went in an uproar, because it was saying, basically everyone felt like we were saying we weren't going to be a part. And so we had questions as a board, and you know, so that's why we're here now. And it's not saying that we're not a part of it, but it's just to get clear presentation of what exactly our relationship is with the Hudson Book Festival. And which kind of leads me to my question that I have, because you mentioned about the teachers and the staffs and all the volunteers that we have, which is great, but has any of those teachers or staff members ever reached out to the district employees or officers, including the former or current superintendent, to sign checks as representatives of the district or ask donors for checks from other organizations? And were the checks district checks?
Were they district checks?
Yeah, like were our checks being made through the Hudson City School District?
No.
No.
Okay. So this is what's important, is because this is the questions that we have, because the correlation between both of the organizations are just so close. We have to be fiscally responsible as a board for what goes on and what is being, you know, coming through and leaving out of the district. And we don't know, so we're asking. And I just also, so has any employee or a volunteer ever asked a current superintendent, which is our Dr. Penniman, or a former superintendent, to sign checks as a representative of the district?
No.
No.
That's not our experience.
Well, that's not true. So I don't know what to tell you.
It actually is true.
It actually isn't.
No.
I think some of the confusion is with the endowment fund, which does require the superintendent to release checks. So if the literacy fund is the fiscal sponsorship, then why are funds going through the endowment fund as well?
They're not anymore.
Anymore. So when you say anymore, that means that they were for a time. When did that stop? This year?
Yes.
Why?
Because the superintendent wouldn't agree to have anything to do with it.
So if you're being sponsored by the literacy fund, then let me just understand, because fiscal sponsorship means an organization is saying that we will take in your monies, we will take in your donations, and we will pass it along to you, and we will take care of central services and any reporting that has to happen through the government and the IRS. So if that is happening through the literacy fund, which when I check the literacy fund, they're not even listed as a .org, and usually organizations are a .org and not a .com, they would be the one that would handle your checks and processing. Why haven't they been doing that?
Because we've been doing it, we've done it through the endowment fund up until this point.
Anybody else have any other questions?
Yeah, I think we just want to be clear about, first I want to say that, you know, I support the book fair. I bring my kids to the book fair. I would say outside of Flag Day, it is one of the most attended events in Hudson. And I think that's excellent that that's here, that represents fantastic success up to now. We want to make sure that financial distinction is clear for everybody, for transparency, for ourselves and for our staff. So we want to clarify if any Hudson School District teachers or other staff are paid to perform work for the district, to perform work for the book festival, and is any distinction made to ensure that that's not happening on district time?
No one has ever
No
been
one's-
paid.
Okay, no one's been paid. All right,
What about the time part?
It's done on our own time.
So on your website, you have an email address listed to get in contact, and the email is listed with the Hudson City School District email. So if somebody reaches out,
No, it's not.
It actually has my email listed.
and that's a Hudson City School District email. We took a large bullet when Dr. Pennyman decided to be more fiscally responsible, as well as the previous superintendent, Dr. Spindler, who had made this original arise of notifications that something wasn't right within the workings of the relationship. We weren't really sure how to proceed. We've asked legal, and as of right now, they're being told that we have to have you remove our address from your website because that's not correct. Maybe it should be your address or Literacy Fund. The email address needs to be changed to an email address that represents the Hudson Children's Book Festival or the Literacy Fund.
We have Hudson Children's Book Festival at gmail.com.
That must have been changed recently. It wasn't that before,
It's been over a year since we changed that.
over a year. And before that, it was Hudson.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So these are the things that we've been having to clarify.
There is still an email address on there.
Yeah.
But, I guess just, would you guys be open to, you know, we don't, any partnership or, anything that this board approves or otherwise is in writing, would you guys be open to some sort of written agreement between the district and the book festival that clarifies a lot of these points, and, you know, sort of makes it clear what we have approval and oversight over, what the superintendent and the rest of the district employees have oversight and approval over, and like what is handled by a separate entity? I mean, it seems like that would be the best way forward, so that it's clear and written down on paper and just removes any chance for there to be confusion in the future.
I mean, I guess you've made it very clear that we're not really a part of the district, so I don't understand why
What
we would have
oversight would
to-
there be?
Right.
Well, if there are things that you guys are expecting the district to provide and like want us to support, then.
There's
like,
nothing
Other than the venue.
other than the venue. I mean, we hold it here, but that's, if that is not something you want either, we can move it.
A question that Kristen kind of said, I guess mine was a little bit more specific in saying, because I think I got off the website when you guys talk about the funding that goes on to the event for author visits and hospitalities for authors. And I just wanted to clarify if any like teachers or staff during their time of work, have they been called to, as part of their volunteering, I guess, help prepare for this event? How, like, are they shown hospitality during their time that they're scheduled to work? Like, and then like subs are being called in? So that's me being specific.
Yep. No,
Not to your knowledge, or no for sure?
not to my knowledge.
Because we knew last year, the request was made that in order for them to participate and do the things they need to do for the Hudson Children's Book Festival, they needed subs to sub their classes so that they could go and perform those things, whatever those duties were. As well as using our children, which we're not sure that there's anything online, any kind of a statement that you're giving to parents to use our children's images for the event. That's supposed to be a FERPA thing anyway, as well as putting a banner up and leaving it up for weeks on end. These are all things that are within our purview to regulate, and we are asking that those things be put into our MOU, like Mark said, so that there's clarity, because as of right now, even with the name and the coloring, people assume that we are one. And there's no way we have to make that distinction that we are not. And it is not saying we don't welcome it or we don't want it, it's just, it has to be a clear distinction.
You can draw something up, I guess, and we'll have to look at it, but I don't know what else.
Well, but it does seem like there are things that you would be looking for support-wise outside of just using the space that it feels like you're not getting, and we're open to that and like want to, you know, again, be supportive and be partners, but we just need a little more specifics from you guys as to like what your expectations are of the situation.
I mean, I'll speak for this. I get that we've had a turnover in leadership over the last couple of years. I get that, and I get that, you know, but this is practically a Hudson institution, okay? And you may say that you're welcoming us, but I am not feeling welcomed at all right now. And this is like a Hudson institution that Jen and I put literally hundreds of hours into on our own time, outside of the school day. And we've carried this from when Lisa Dolan, who was the teacher here, had the vision to start this in partnership with Maria Setmeyer, our retired former superintendent. All of these logistics that you have questioned were in place for years without there being any question whatsoever about transparency, about financials, and this seriously feels like a gotcha where it's like, oh, but this, oh, but that. And none of the things that you are questioning are things that we did in any way to obfuscate or not have transparency. These were set in place by people in leadership to provide for this to happen. And all Jen and I want and ever wanted was to sit down and talk with you guys ahead of time and say, this is what our goal is, and this is what our vision, and this is what we want to do, and we would certainly happily share with you our funding and how we get our funding and what we do with our funding. And because at one time we used the Hudson email, or because at one time we used the endowment fund, which is a separate entity, all of those things, you feel like we're being questioned now, and it's all been very much in place, and it's the way we have been doing it, and it certainly was never for any nefarious reason, and I think we're both happy to give you all clarification on that. But this is not a gotcha where it's like, oh, you did this and you did that and you didn't do this and you didn't do that. Everything we've done has been for the goal of providing a beautiful, diverse, lovely program for children that kids and teachers and parents alike love. And I mean, the questioning of what we're doing during our day, we don't do any of this on school time at all. We're very clear about that. With the exception of the day before the festival, and I honestly don't see how Jen and I could not host 8 or 10 authors and be hosts to them without running around. And I mean, if you want to question getting a sub for that day, it's literally in the building use form that says Hudson Children's Book Festival, because as I said, for years, that's been an accepted use of a teacher taking a sub for the day before the festival. If that's something that moving forward, you don't approve of, well, there'll be logistical issues with bringing 10 authors to present to, 1,000 kids. But, I just want you to know that our goal has always just been provide books for kids, promote literacy, promote literature, and there were some, growing pains this year, but all of this could have been handled by just sitting down and having a conversation with us.
Thank you. And I just want to make sure that you know that part of the reason, or that the reason the meeting looks like this is because of open meetings law. We can't assemble as a board and sit down and have a conversation without inviting the public. So I want to make sure that you know that that's why this meeting looks the way it does.
Well, I will say this, we were invited to executive session, so I'm feeling a little startled by this. We have been invited in writing twice to meet in executive session, And so there was no warning for us that we're sitting down in front of cameras and people, and not that it matters, because we are an open book and you can see everything we do, but it is startling, and it is not what we were asked for.
If I may just clear that statement up, Tracy, you sent out the invite, so
It
I just
was-
want to make for the record that we are being authentic in our delivery, and we don't have anything to hide or any reason to not tell the truth up here. So Tracy, how did you invite them to this
It was
meeting?
invited through executive session when I sent the invite, because at that time, we were not aware that we could not have it during the executive session, and we consulted with the attorney first. And then, so,
Did you go back, though, and
I
let
did
them?
not.
Well, that should have been done. You should have gone back, because we knew that this wasn't going to be an executive session. So I apologize for that,
That is-
because
that
I
is
thought
on
that
me,
Tracy
that-
had taken care of that with you guys. So I didn't know, or I would have definitely made sure. So, because we knew it couldn't have been an executive session, so I said, but I thought you went back and told them that.
no, I just, basically, you told me to change it on the spot, and I changed it on the spot,
No,
and they had said they were coming to the meeting, so I never even.
Yeah, but it wasn't on the spot. Tracy, we'll talk about it, but it wasn't on the spot, like you just knew, and I said, change it. You've known for a little bit that it was, and
Right, but
I
didn't really
just thought
think
that you had
about-
done that.
I didn't even, it never even occurred to me to just tell them it wasn't going to be executive session. I just, I knew it was going to be at this meeting, and
Okay, we can talk
that was
about
on
it.
me.
Okay.
And I just want to add, like this, I know it is weird with publicly, but it's not an I got you. Our hearts are not I got you moment. It's just you guys are new, we're new, and we have questions, and you were handed something, and you're just doing what you were handled. And we have new administration, we're a new board, and we have questions, and this is like the only way that we can ask the questions. And I think it's not, I like the Hudson, I don't have a problem with the book festival. I think it's great that the authors come in with the kids. I think what you guys do is wonderful, but we just have questions. And this is kind of like the only way that we can ask the questions, and to make sure that, things that are happening, rightfully and legally. And so it's important that we have this conversation, and I know, well, now I know that you guys didn't know, but I just want you to know that it's not like we're not have to be able to ask these questions.
Yeah, I think it's just clarity for everybody, and if writing that down, that's, everything that we do has a policy or an agreement or some sort of statement that everybody can refer to, so that, people don't, feel confused or that everybody can refer to. And, we also never got requests to meet with you guys until you came to the board meeting.
They didn't go beyond the superintendent.
I'm sorry?
I asked the superintendent to meet with me, and she,
I met with you before,
not about the
Jen,
book festival.
but I don't remember you asking me to meet with you.
I asked your
about-
secretary, and she
I'm
said
not- I mean,
you would
I'm-
not meet with me.
But yeah, like they were saying, this is the only forum in which the board exists, so this is the only way that we can do it. And we're happy to, continue working with you guys, write things down, create an outline that makes it clear for everybody, so that you can feel confident, moving forward and putting the event on, and, we can feel confident about, the ways that the, district is involved, and what exactly is expected of us. And, happy to, again, it's really the only way to solve this is to write it down and to have everybody agree, like, yes, this looks right, and this meets our expectations, this meets your expectations.
So who would put that together? You? As the board, or
I mean,
how does that work?
I'm actually looking to Dr. Penniman for
Well,
how
it
that
would
needs
ha-
to be done if it's an MOU.
So it would have to be, I would have to consult legal to make sure that we're doing this in the legal and ethical and lawfully way, ongoing with any partnerships or what it's gonna look like with the book festival. I just have to make sure that we are moving forward in a legitimate legal way with this process.
I guess I'm confused as to like how, so if the only thing that we're doing is holding the event here, how is that different from, say, the youth department renting the gym for a basketball tournament? Like,
It's not-
Or Brooks Barbecue.
You guys filled out the facility request form, and yes, anybody can rent it, but when the statement was made that like the district doesn't sponsor the festival, there seemed to be this different expectation from everybody else's point of view that there was some other arrangement and there were other ways that the district was involved. And if that is true and if that is what people expect and what people want, then we just want to make sure that that's documented and that we're 100% clear on what that means. And again, we're open to supporting in countless different ways that we have the legal authority and liability to do so, but we just need to have that written down. We need to have those requests be, made in writing in some kind of agreement that we can all approve as a board.
And I think one of the concerns that we've talked about is for the benefit of both organizations, which is to make sure that there is public clarity that these are two separate organizations, the district and the book festival, operating in tandem and in partnership essentially. So that if, and that's where the color scheme and the email address and things like that come to play, so that there's clarity in case, I'm going to go with a really weird example, everybody who's operated this, the book festival up till now has been devoted and given of their time. 30 years down the road, a weird nefarious person comes in and takes money from the book festival. We want to make sure that there is public clarity that those two are in partnership, but the school district isn't essentially liable for that. Or if something happens with the school, that similarly it doesn't impact the book festival. So the two are operating in tandem, but not as the same institution. And that's good for both partners, and that happens in partnerships everywhere.
I guess I'm just confused because that's really how it's always been.
That they've been, right, but we want to make sure that there's public clarity with that. So if we're confused, then it's entirely possible that there are other folks in the public who are confused. So just some, looking at some of those distinctions to figure out how we do that with language, how we do that with graphics, I think is good for both of us. I work a lot with not-for-profit partnerships.
Yeah, mine is like slightly at a different angle, but just a curiosity question that I think hasn't been asked yet. Just curious how authors are chosen to be invited to the book festival. It's always so interesting to see who's in the room in a different year, and it's exciting to see books, authors that I know that I've never seen in person show up. And I'm wondering additionally, what efforts does the book festival make to invite authors that reflect the diversity of the Hudson City School District student body?
So we have put out an application every year to anyone and everyone who is an author. And one of our main goals is to pull in authors that represent our diverse student body. So we work really hard to sort through this year. I think we had over 250 people apply, and to kind of sort through their content and make sure that we are trying to represent as many different groups of people as we possibly can to come into this district, because we in Hudson we have kids from all walks of life, so that's really one of our number one priorities when we're choosing authors to come in. We only have so much space, so we cap it at 80.
This is a nationally recognized book festival. Authors from all over the country and the world ask to come here. It's a huge something we should be really proud of as our community as a whole, as our school district, as a community, and the book festival itself. It's grown over time from 50 authors to over 80. And as Jen said, more than 200 applicants. People are already asking again, can we come back next year? Can we come back next year? And we've always striven to have the author makeup be reflective of the makeup of our community.
Like I said, we all agree that it's a great event, and, I was aware of it even before I moved to the area. My mom was a kindergarten teacher and came for years and years, because it's so well done. And, we want to see it continue, and yeah, I think just writing some of this down would just help everybody.
And also hopefully ensure that you're not caught off guard in the future, that you can say, we've had this conversation.
That would be nice.
Here's what, and we can both point to it.
Here's
what we've talked about.
We really do want to work with the school district. I think that this has come kind of backwards from how, in a perfect world, it should have happened, instead of talking about it after the fact.
We're very in advance of next year.
We'll consult with our lawyer and get back to you guys with some suggested next steps. And really appreciate you being here, and apologize if it's not what you expected. It's a first for us as well, and looking forward to all growing and learning together.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Make a motion to adjourn this meeting at 7:14.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here.